everyone, it's Donna Robertson, Fabric Cafe. Thanks a lot for joining us today. We have a great show lined up for you with some of our very favorites. We are talking about 3-yard quilt kits. Every one of the patterns that we show you today are lap size quilts, and you can either make a lap with 1 kit, a twin with 2 kits, or a king queen with 4 kits. The kits are on our website, fabriccafe.com. And can they see this, John? And right here, we also have our YouTube channel where you can see other videos. So you'll want to check that out. We have 9 different books. 2 of those are downloadable only, but the other 7 are all available as individual books that you can purchase. And every book is designed for those multiple sizes, as I explained to you. And the book gives you your instructions for the lap, the twin, and the king queen. It also has great illustrations showing you exactly how to put the blocks together. They're super fast to make, and we know you're going to enjoy every one of them. Each book has 8 different patterns. So today we're going to be covering florals. And these are some of our, we want to do a little alliteration, favorite florals. So we're going to show you some of our floral kits now. And let's go over and see Hannah, and she's going to show you, this one is called Jackie's Joy, is that right? No, this is a new one. This is a new one. Okay. This one was Jackie's Joy, but we have run out of that fabric, or we might have 1 or 2 left. It's a little bit lighter version of what we're going to show you today. This one gets to the real deep, rich purples. So let's go over and look at the fabrics, and why don't you go ahead and fold that and put it on the table, and we'll show them the difference. Now this is from the same line of fabric. It's just a deeper, richer purple set that we have here. So this is your focus fabric, and that's the one you would put in your largest block. That's right here. And then your second block is your light color, and you can see that it's just a little bit darker here than the one that we used over in this pattern. And then this one is the same leaf design that's on that one. Beautiful, beautiful fabric. We did run out of this one, but we now have the violet blooms. This is using the time machine pattern from the book Easy Does It. It's only available as an individual it's only available in the book Easy Does It. An alternate pattern that we recommend if you do not want to get a book, then you can use tumbling triangles. It's one of those things about my patterns that is awesome. Any pattern will work with any 3 yards of fabric, so you have lots and lots and lots of choices of how you want to use your 3 yards of fabric. So this one is Violet Blooms and a new colorway. Okay, the next one that Hannah's going to hold up for us is called Brick Street. Now we do not have the Brick Street fabric available, but we do have another set of fabrics that we want to share with you. And I love this one because you can use 2 different, either the same or a little bit larger prints, and then you can put the light color in the background and it separates them, so they kind of stand alone, each one of those prints, but still give you a whole lot of interest in your quilt. These are great stash buster quilts too, because you can pick out a couple of bold prints from your stash and just make sure you sash them with a light color, and you'll love it. Okay, let's look at the fabric that we have, and this one is called Mystique. And Mystique has a real nice silvery color print on a black. That is so pretty. So this one would be a stunning quilt. So this is your focus fabric. It goes in the number 1 spot. Your number 2 spot is your background. So that would take care of that sashing that we showed you in that last one. And then the last fabric is your number 3 fabric. And that's the one that usually ends up on the outside of your quilt. The number 2 fabric is what really causes your other colors to really pop off the face of the quilt. This one is called Mystique. It's 8020499. The pattern is Brick Street. It's from the book Fast and Fun. only available in Fast and Fun is Brick Street, but we have an alternate pattern, and that's the dash pattern. Now the difference are these are squares and there were rectangles in the other, a little bit different sizing, a little different way of cutting and assembling your quilt, but it would give you a similar effect with the dash pattern.
And they're really liking that one.
Which one?
This one.
Oh, the fabric. Oh, I know, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I really like black and white and black and red quilts. I think that they are timeless. But this especially is a gorgeous one. All right, the next one that has been one of our very favorites is the sugar pie. And I know I've told y'all the story that when I got through designing this one, I have to always name the quilts or the patterns. And we named this one Sugar Pie because I thought it looked like it was little candies that with little twisty papers on the corners. And I thought, and it's such a sweet quilt, and I thought, oh, Sugar Pie. That's a wonderful little pet name. So let's look at these gorgeous fabrics. And I say that very humbly because this is one of my fabric lines. I love this combination. It's always very important to me to have contrast when making a 3-yard quilt kit because that's what gives you the interest. If you have a whole lot of pieces in a quilt and you can use 29 different fabrics, you'll get the contrast will show up in the quilt. But to really enjoy the way a quilt is laid out and the way it's designed, I think that contrast is what helps you to really get the most out of your patterns. So my basic rule of thumb is the largest print is your number 1 fabric. It goes in the largest block of your quilt. Then the lightest goes to your number 2 spot, and that's going to be your base of your quilt or your background color that causes the other 2 to pop off the surface. The number 3 usually ends up being a border or a binding. So those are the way those 3 fabrics work for you. The pattern is called Sugar Pie. It is available as an individual pattern. It's also available in the book Pretty Darn Quick. Now, if you've just joined us for the first time, one of the cool things about our books is you can get one free when you buy 3 different kits. You can just skip taking the little patterns and buy 3 kits and get a book instead of the little patterns. Okay, the next one that we have is called Hopscotch. I do not have this fabric available, but we have some other fabric, and we have some pieces and parts to share with you, and so we can show you how these blocks are assembled. Now remember earlier, let's put that one on the table. Earlier we mentioned we have 2 downloadable books, and this one came from our downloadable book, 3-Yard Quilt Favorites. And I want to show you what we've done here is that we put the patterns in pattern protector sheets. So you can actually just see it's just like having a quilt book. You print out the patterns and then you just put them in the protector sheets, and then you've got your 2-page spread. It's a good way to see how we've done our layout of our patterns. So this one's Hopscotch. You always get a black and white design, and we put our focus fabric in the number 1 spot, and we use a polka dot to say this is the focus fabric and the fabric you're going to see the most of. And then the number 2 fabric is your light color, and the number 3 is the dark. So you can look at your quilt diagram and see how that's going to work out. And then we do our strip assemblies, cutting them into units, and then we build our blocks right here. So it's a great way to see the book all laid out if you're doing a downloadable. All right. So let's see the fabric. This is gorgeous fabric. This one is called Regency. As I said, I don't have the quilt fabric over here. We've run out of that. But this one has your number 1 fabric is the blue, and it does have all these pretty gold. It's got just a little bit of metallic fabric printing on that. And I'm going to look and see because my memory has failed me. This is Oh, it's Timeless Treasures. Okay, I couldn't remember whose fabric this was. Sometimes I remember them right off the top of my head, but the focus fabric is a Timeless Treasures. And then the number 2 fabric is your polka dot. And the number 3 fabric is your darkest, or your borders and binding. So if you look at this and then you look over here, you can see real quickly that you've got your number 1 fabric we chose to be the blue. And then our darkest we put out in the border. And then our lightest falls to the background. So now let's look at some pieces and parts using this fabric so you can kind of get an idea of what your quilt is going to look like.
And we had a real quick question from Tammy.
Okay.
What was that book that we just showed in the binder?
Oh, in the binder, that one is 3-Yard Quilt Favorites. And you just, if you want to get this as a freebie when you buy 3 kits, just ask for this book in the comments section and we will send you a code. Now, if you wanted to purchase the downloadable book, it's $15.99. And when you purchase it, we will send you a code so that you can download the book. And it's just like a printed version, only you get to put it in your notebook and in your page protectors.
Cool.
All right. Okay, so we've got several of these little pieces and parts. Let's see if we can put them together now. All right, so our number 1 fabric is here and here. So we're building our blocks. And then we take another, if you'll look at this, this has been strip pieced. Let's see, I think I have the strip here, don't I? All right. So here's the strip that we put together. We sew 3 long pieces together. And I want to say special thank you to Sandy McClinney, who's made our pieces and parts on this one. Then we cut our units off of that, and then that will be built. So we will sew those 3 pieces together, and that becomes your block. So you can kind of see how this is working out. And then here's the next block, and that's where we don't have more pieces and parts, do we? Oh yeah, right here. Oh, there they are. We don't want these things to get away from us here. Now they still have their seam allowance, so we're going to kind of tuck them under each other. Now this will give you an idea of what this quilt is going to look like when you put it together. So we'll crop this just like so, and you can use your imagination on that one so you can see how cool it will look when it's made up with these fabrics. And it does have kind of a woven look whenever all is said and done. Right, so this one is called Regency. It's from the book Quilt Favorites. Now, because this one is also available as an individual pattern, you can do the book or you can do the individual pattern, whichever you prefer. And again, I know I say this a lot, but any one of my patterns works with any one of the groupings of fabric. Okay, the next one, go ahead and hold that one up.
We have a last.
Oh, this is an extra. Oh, is this another one? I'm sorry.
We do.
I missed out on that because I had a piece of paper on top of it. Okay, this one is also from the quilt. This is also a quilt. I can say this. This one is also a hopscotch pattern suggestion. It is a last chance. There's only 3 of these remaining. It's called Graceful Greenery. It's 8020241. So if you go to our website, this is available right now, and there's 3 of them. And this is so pretty. I always hope that the camera will pick this up, but it's got just a tiny bit of metallic. You know, they've really perfected the metallics when it comes to printing fabric. They adhere very nicely, and they're very long-lasting. I remember when they first started doing metallics, they weren't quite as nice, and probably many of our quilters are so young they don't remember it because I'm old. Okay, so this one has the little bit of metallic with it, and this is your focus fabric. And then we have a nice little cream color secondary fabric, or your number 2 fabric. And then to continue the metallic, it has just little bits of color of the metallic print with this. So it's called Graceful Greenery, and it is a beautiful quilt. Now, my daughter-in-law is not too crazy about green, and just about everything I have is green, but we love each other anyway. So this one is a last chance. There's only 3 remaining. Okay, the next one. This one is one we just got back from the quilter, I think last week. It was not too long ago anyway. I know we just finished binding it. And this one is called, the pattern is called Picture Perfect. And it's, okay, I do remember that one, Picture Perfect. And whenever I designed this one, I actually, it was when embroidery is just such a hobby for some people. They just love to make a quilt and put embroidery on it. So I actually designed it so if you wanted to do some type of embroidery in every other one, you could. Or if you wanted to print pictures and put them in those blocks, you could. But you will get enough fabric to do the whole quilt just as you see it here. And this one is called French Garden and has a really pretty little flower. Let's look at this fabric. Okay, so the fabric number 1, and I believe this is a Kaufman fabric here, really nice quality. Okay, so this one is your number 1, your focus fabric, and then you have your 2 remaining fabrics. You've got your number 2 and 3. This is a really good example of showing you when you have them and the tonal range is so close together that it's hard for you to tell, well, which one is the darkest and the lightest. You can actually squint and usually tell the difference, or you can use your phone and take a picture and then go to the edit menu and make it a black and white. That too will help you to see the difference in your color variation so you can decide. But because there's the same amount of fabric in every position, which is 1 yard, then you can put the one that you prefer in the different positions, and it works. This one's called French Garden. It's 801960, Picture Perfect, and it's from the book Quick and Easy, which is another downloadable book. And we would send you the code if you purchase the book, or if you choose to get the book free when you buy 3 kits. Now this one is the individual pattern if you want to take Picture Perfect as your free pattern, because every kit helps you to qualify either for a free pattern or a free book when you buy 3 kits. Okay, the next one is now this is a floral inside of a floral. This one is called Dominique, and you can see the little stylized flower right here in the center. And this one's been very, very popular. And I've always liked to point this out because it has these little 1-inch blocks set into the sashing, but I promise never to make you cut 1-inch squares and sew them together unless you just want to. I strip piece all of this, so it's going to be long strips that are sewn together, and then we cut our units and put our sashing together. It's super fast and easy to do. Okay, Dominique, we've got a pretty little flower fabric here. I love this, it's so pretty. And we like to do this periodically whenever I'm putting fabric together, and this is a good tip for you if you fell in love with some fabric and it's from the same exact line like this one. So we've got 2 florals, and let's put that quilt up here real quick like Hannah so I can point while I'm talking. Okay, so on this quilt, if you'll look, this makes your block right here. All of this is making a block. And so you could put the pink and green in one of these sections, and you put the blue and green in the other section. And then this third fabric becomes your flower and your sashing. Excuse me. I think that would just be precious. So I wanted you to be able to see that. So looking at the fabrics, you've got your fabric 1, fabric 2, and these are pretty even in the quilt, so you could pick either one to be your number 1 or your number 2 fabric. And then your third fabric for your borders and your sashing is the pink. This one is 8020297 Flower Path. It's Dominique pattern from the Modern Views book, or it is also available as an individual. Okay, the next one of my favorite quilts. I think this is so pretty. I fell in love with this fabric whenever I saw it with those beautiful realistic roses. And I did order the fabric, but due to unforeseen circumstances, it is still not here. It won't be here until November. But I'm sure y'all will love me that long so you can get some of this. It is on order and it will be here, but I love this quilt. And this one is called Modern Charm. And Modern Charm is in the book Quick as a Wink. But we have fabric that we think would be gorgeous. So this one, we have this beautiful, the earth tones. So if you like earth tones, you're going to like this one. And if you like the blues, you'll just have to wait a little bit longer for that. So this one has really pretty flowers in the pinks and browns and the beiges. And this wonderful cream color for your number 2. And then the number 3 will be this one. And what's really cool, this will be your churn dash here. The pattern in that secondary block. Okay, this one is 8020497 Country Charm. The pattern is called Modern Charm, and it is in the book Quick as a Wink. It is not available as an individual for Modern Charm, but we do have an alternate pattern. This one is called Heartland, and Heartland is available as an individual pattern if you want to take that. Okay, the next one, here's another one of those great ones that you can use multiple big prints if you want to. This one, we don't have this particular fabric remaining, but I just loved this cute little snowman and the little modern Christmas trees. I don't know what style would you call this? Is this modern or is it cartoon or whatever it is? I like it. I think it's cute. And I loved using those polka dots for the border, for the sashing and the borders. Okay, this one is called Pretty Simple, and it's from Quilt Favorites, which was in that notebook that I showed you a little bit earlier. Quilt Favorites is a downloadable pattern, a downloadable book. The pattern is available if you'd like. This is gorgeous fabric too. Well, we have some gorgeous florals, don't we?
We should name the show after that.
Yeah. I do believe that Hannah did name it Florals. All right, so this one is our number 1 fabric. We could just stand and look at this like we were in a watercolor gallery or something. That's gorgeous fabric. Number 2 fabric is the yellow, and the number 3 fabric is your green. So this would be the sashing, and these would be your 2 blocks. Or if you wanted to, because you can switch things out, if you wanted these 2 to be your blocks, then you could sash it in the yellow. That's another one of those cool things about 3-yard quilts. You can have it your way, and we're not that hamburger place. Okay. I'm surely everybody's heard that commercial at least once. Okay. This is your kit number is 8020493, rose-colored glasses, number 2. Now, we had a rose-colored glasses quilt kit earlier, but we had to switch out some of the fabric. The focus is exactly the same, but the companion fabrics are a little bit different. The name of that pattern is Pretty Simple. It's in the book Quilt Favorites, which you can get as a downloadable book, or if you want an individual pattern, we have Pretty Simple as an individual pattern. Okay, the next one is Pansy Patch. I love yellow and blue. I just think it's always so refreshing. And this fabric is fun. These little dotted lines look like the wind blowing. And so we call this Pansy Patch. And it's got the pretty blues and yellows and a little touch of green. So let's look at this fabric. Very pretty. And let's look. So we have our yellow and blue flowers. So pretty. And then we have our wind blowing. Can't you just, or it's just so, that's just what it made me think of whenever I saw that fabric. And then the blue for your number 3 fabric, your sashing and so forth. So we have Pansy Patch 802003. Pansy Patch is with Skip to My Lou from the Easy Peasy book. And it is available as an individual pattern or in the book Easy Peasy. All right. Now next we have Windmill. Now we don't have this fabric remaining. In fact, this is like the very first one of the very first 3-yard quilts we ever did. But we like to show you the patterns made up, and we have several different colors, but we'll pick out one to share with you. And this one was made long, long ago in a galaxy far away, because our first 3-yard quilt pattern was made in 2008. Now, this is chenille by the inch. It is a trim fabric. We have lots of videos on our website that will cover the chenille by the inch trim fabric. So this one is called Windmill, and we do not have that fabric, but this would be adorable in that quilt. So here's your number 1. It goes in your largest block on your quilt. Your number 2 fabric is the green. And remember, you compare these two as your lightest and your darkest. You first pick your focus, and then you compare for your lightest and darkest. And then the number 3 is that pretty rosy pink. What's that called? Raspberry?
Fuchsia.
Fuchsia. Okay. It's kind of makes me think raspberry. All right. So this one is Windmill pattern, and it is Tiny Flowers 8020513. The pattern is Windmill. That one is in the book Quilts for Kids, but it's also available as an individual pattern. One of our very popular patterns that has been with us for a few years. Okay. Oh, there's Windmill again, done up in a little more adult fabric, I guess. I like their cute little flowers too. But this one is called Classy Blues, and it's a very pretty fabric. So with that one, we do have that fabric available, so let's take a look. So we have the Floral, and I believe this is a Kaufman fabric that we have here for our focus. Very pretty fabric. And then our number 2 fabric is our light, compared to our number 3, which is our dark. And these are just gorgeous. Don't those just look pretty together? I like that quilt too.
Looks like they have a little bit of metallic in it too.
I don't think that's metallic. It has that kind of a look, but they have such depth to their colors. Mm-hmm. They really do a great job with their manufacturing their fabrics. So this one is 802005. It's called Classy Blues. It's the Windmill pattern, and that pattern is from Quilts for Kids book. So even though that says Quilts for Kids, we just made that book be all children fabric. There is no reason you can't switch it. So this is a good example. We had some kids fabric, and then we had adult fabric, but it's made from the book Quilts for Kids. But don't let that scare you, because you just use adult fabric if you want to make something out of that book. The patterns are still 3-yard quilt kits patterns. Some of them are a little bit smaller because people want baby quilts or smaller quilts, but as you notice, that one is a pretty good size. All right, now we have some last chance. I know how y'all like last chance quilts. That means that we're at the end of these, and there's only 2 or 3 of them left. So let's see what we've got. We only have 3 left on this one. I love this. I like funky colors too. I guess that's the reason our quilts just go from one end of the spectrum to the other, because I like the funky and I like the serious and I like the fun, so it's all fun. Okay, this one has this great mod. This would be so good for like a teenager, I would think. Mm-hmm. I like that. Okay, so then we picked up that limey green for the number 2 fabric, and the number 3 fabric is a little mottled black that pulls these all together. And this one, we are recommending the pattern Perfect Pets. This has a doggy and a kitty. And I tell you, it would be so cute to make this up with that. And you would have your black kitties on top of this limey green. And then you'd have the limey green flowers over here in this one. That would be really cute. Okay, did I give you the number? 802036, Flower Power. Perfect Pets is the pattern that we're recommending. Quilts for Kids is the book, and it's a last chance. And remember, if you want a different pattern, you can just order the quilt kit, and when you do, you get 3 options. You can do, I'll take the recommended pattern. Another option is, I'll pick which pattern I want and write it in the comments section. And the third choice is, I'm buying 3 kits and I'd like the book deal. So that means I'm buying 3 kits. I can skip the little patterns and take a book free. So that's a pretty good deal. Okay, we only have one left of this one. This one is called Sweetie Pie. And it's so pretty. So here's a little pink and blue. I've been having lots of friends having babies lately. Well, friends, children of none of my close friends, I guess. I'm sorry, my mouth is just running today. Yes, they're my friends. They're just very young. Okay, so this is your number 3 fabric here. So focus fabric. Number 2 is the pink, and number 3 would be the floral. And I love, love, love this one, and it would be so cute. We're going to recommend the kaleidoscope pattern. And that means the blue is going to be out in the border. Oh, that'll be so cute. And then the pink and the pink flowers will be in the kaleidoscope in the middle. That'll be great. There's only one left. So somebody that also agrees with me might want to pick this one up. 8020295, Sweetie Pie. I didn't realize there was just one left, but that's such a cute quick kit that it's no wonder. Here's another one that only has one left. And this one is called Aqua Breezes. Aqua Breezes. It has this great floral with the greens and grays and a little bit of that, what do they call that green? Limey green anyway. And then we have this fun little polka dot. And then for the number 3, it's the floral. Now we only have one left of this. And we're recommending the Town Square pattern, which is in the Easy Peasy book, and it's also available as an individual. So your floral would go in that center block, and then the background colors would be around it, would be the next 2. So that would be really, really cool. Only one left though, so be sure to check that out. Okay, to recap really quick, thank you so much for joining us. You can get a free book when you buy 3 kits. Just write the name in the comments section and select the book deal whenever you're purchasing. We do have a great website. Right over here is the information for fabriccafe.com. We also have a YouTube channel. You'll want to be sure to check that out as well. We hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're on Facebook right now, be sure to follow us so you'll see the future videos. Our next video is Thursday, and Hannah's going to tell me the title because I've already forgotten, even though we had a meeting this morning.
Yeah, Christmas.
Oh, we're going to do Christmas. Everybody likes Christmas. So we're going to have a new Christmas or another Christmas video on Thursday, and we do have some new Christmas fabrics we'll be sharing with you. So 4 o'clock Thursday, we will see you then. Bye-bye.